Hello, Dr. Smith. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I thought I'd just kind of go through the last few years, and some of this you know, some of this you don't, but we've kind of gotten out of touch. And, it's been 40 years, and I still have to call you Dr. Smith because it just denotes the incredible respect I have for you. I mean, you've been my mentor through all these years, and oh my gosh, yeah, it just depicts you and the respect that I have for you. So, I told you that, I had this fetish of running and, ran marathons, and we talked about Sherry running. I mean, not Sherry, but Stephanie running too. And so this is a picture of Ann and I running a race together because it was something really cool that she and I did together. And then I wanted to put this in because this is the trip to Seattle where I tried so hard to come see you guys, but a mudslide stopped me and I never got there. So this is Timothy and I in Seattle when I finally got across the mountains and through Yellowstone and over to Seattle. This is Timothy surprising Ann at one of her basketball games when he came home from the Navy and she didn't know he was coming and she was just so thrilled to see him. And this is her last basketball game, and her number and John's number side by side just denotes their relationship. And I know I told you about that, but again, pictures mean a lot. So I thought I'd put some pictures with it. This is a picture Gary took of John and I because he's always teasing me about messing up the gene pool, and that's why Ann didn't get to be 6 foot. She's only 5'11", and that John was going to make up for me messing up the gene pool. So this is a good picture showing my shortness and his height. Timothy cleans up good. This was Ann and John's graduation, and so he came and we talked him into putting on a pink shirt. He looks quite stylish in his pink shirt. And this is their graduation. And this is the wedding. We had a devotional. It was on a Sunday. The wedding is we wanted to have church service. We wanted them to start their life off right. So early on Sunday morning, we had a church service and we had the Lord's Supper, and that always just meant so much to me to depict the fact that we love the Lord first and everything else afterwards. Here is us taking the Lord's Supper together, and the tall person in the red shirt is John's dad. And here's obviously Gary and Timothy, and Gary and Ann, John and Ann, Gary and Ann. And here's our trip right after the wedding with my brother and sister-in-law. We went to Chicago and enjoyed a week in Chicago. And so that was a really fun, relaxing time after having a wedding. So this is the summer that Ann got married. She found a free quotation mark dog that ended up costing them thousands of dollars in the long run because they had to have, tooth surgery, a cap put on its tooth, and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, we went and picked up this puppy, and so it was a real fun mother-daughter outing across the state to pick up Remy, their English setter. This is Timothy when he soloed during Thanksgiving, his first year at Liberty. And so he's always real proud of that. He's still trying to get his pilot's license. He's almost finished, but it's just taken him a while. He got out of aviation and started doing an online degree here, as I told you guys, but he still continued to toy with the pilot thing on the side because he still really loves to fly. This is my latest dog, Trixie, my quotation mark retirement dog that I love to train. And this is when we went to see her the first time. And so you'll see more pictures of her because, again, that's kind of my passion of something I do on the side. Now that I don't run anymore because I have a bionic knee, I just train dogs. So there's another picture of me running in Nebraska. These are not in a particular order, but this is Timothy, the last picture we have before Papa died, and he was saluting him. They were both Navy men, and so this was a picture that we really loved and even had in the slide presentation at the funeral. So anyway, good picture of Timothy and who he is. I started a group at church called Prayer Shawl Ministry. There's some of those all over the United States, but I started one here in Jackson, and we get together and crochet shawls, and I mainly just host it because I get about one shawl done every about 4 or 5 years because it's really not my thing, but I love the concept behind it. I love hosting it. And so we pray over these shawls as we're making them and give them to people who we feel like we're called to give them to that need them for one reason or another. Here's Ann and John when they ran a marathon together. They decided to camp out, so they bought a tent and they practiced at our house. They put the tent up in the backyard. They ended up not sleeping out there, and then their camping trip got canceled. This was a couple of years ago, and I don't think they've gone camping to this day, but they have the tent, and they have practiced putting it up in our backyard. Oh, and there's the three dogs: Remy, their English setter, our flat-coated retriever, and Calypso, the German shepherd, who's about 11 now, still with us. Here's a picture of our Bluebell ice cream. We don't get that in Michigan, so Ann found some in Fort Wayne and put it on dry ice and brought it to us so that we could have Bluebell and celebrate our Texas heritage, which I guess you guys are going to be in Bluebell country again. Here is me showing Trixie. This is the puppy all grown up and getting some of our first ribbons together. Gary joined a vinyl group. They go and they look for old vinyl records and they play them, and we have parties and play the vinyl records, and it's just a fun thing for him to do with this group of men. Here's a good picture of the four of us. I just liked it because it's just the family. Here's a picture of the kids and I at Christmas. Here's another picture of Trixie and I doing our dog show thing. Favorite thing to do in Michigan is go to cider mills. Every fall we go to the cider mills. Other than this fall, we missed it because of COVID, but every other year since we've been here, we've always, even when I came back from Nebraska, we found a way to get to the cider mills and have hot cider and donuts and pick our apples. And here's a classic picture of Ann and John. Here's Timothy raking leaves with Calypso. I think they're messing them up more than they're raking them, but they had a good time and they did some raking. Here's some of the shawls that we gave to some people at the shelter. Here's just a picture of Gary and I, some family photos, the kids. Here's a picture of Spencer, who's a young man, a friend of mine's son, who loves to do tracking to help with search and rescue and things of that sort. And so he's helping teach me how to track, and we're out tracking with the dogs. Here's a picture of us praying over some of the shawls before we give them to the shelter. Timothy and I, during COVID last spring, decided to do some landscaping. So he did all the heavy work. He hauled all the rocks up in a wheelbarrow and I raked them. And anyway, we got these two landscaping projects done. We got another one done in the back, but I don't have a picture of that. So anyway, it was a lot of work, but it looks good. Looks good. I was proud of what we did. Here's Timothy, and it looks like I missed the bottom of his diploma, but he graduated in May from Liberty with his online degree in criminal justice, but he just never got to graduate because of COVID. He got the cap and gown, he got the whole thing. My brother and sister-in-law had plane reservations, but it never happened. So maybe one of these days we'll just put his cap and gown on and meet family and take some pictures so he'll get that experience. Here's my bionic knee. I thought that, you should get a picture of that I have now. I had that done in August. I'm still recuperating. It hasn't healed up as fast as I would like. It's, getting better, I think, but still not quite where I'd like it to be. All right, here's another picture of Spencer and I tracking out with the dog. And here's where Trixie got her tracking dog title. And they gave her a little towel as a remembrance. Here's a fall picture of Ann and John and Remy. Here's a picture of me with all my gear on, and I'm not a hunter. I'm not a great white hunter, but I have started doing field training with Trixie and tracking, and it gets really, really cold, and so I got the very warm clothes to hang out with my friends out throwing bumpers and doing some field work with the dogs. Here's another person at the shelter that received one of our scarves. Here's Gary after his cataract surgery a few months ago. So he has two good eyes and doesn't have to wear glasses anymore. So he kind of was grateful for the cataract surgery. Here's another one of my running pictures. Here's Trixie at Christmas bringing us the paper. She thinks she should retrieve anything we hand to her. Again, I love pictures of my family worshiping together. Because of COVID, we weren't able to go to church, but we had online service, Christmas Eve service together. And again, just hopefully depicts who we are. This is Remy at Thanksgiving, looking over the back of the couch, wishing that he got invited to eat, but he just looks cute. And here's another picture of us doing doing obedience. And then Gary's present from me for his birthday, a snowblower. No selfish motives involved. I just figured he needed a snowblower. Not that I wanted the sidewalks done. He finally retired right before he turned 76. And so he retired as of January 1st. So he's doing a great job cooking and cleaning and snow blowing and all those things. And it's making it really nice for me. Dr. Smith, you'd be amazed. I'm actually teaching a couple engineering courses. I'm teaching statics and dynamics now. Anne is she's working for DePuy, making bionic knees as a biomedical engineer. She started graduate school, get a master's degree at Purdue. I was going to do it with her, but just decided time and money, it just wasn't worth the investment at this point. But we both got accepted. We were going to do it together, and it would have been really fun mother-daughter thing. But anyway, not now. Anyway, maybe in another lifetime. And this is a great picture just out of our front door. There's a park right across the street from us. So this is what we saw, and I shot a picture of it. Anyway, hopefully that catches you up on where we are, and I miss seeing you guys, and I'm just bummed that I didn't get to see you during the Seattle trip. And I just wanted you to know how much I have loved you through the years and appreciated who you are and the Christian role model and you believing in me and helping me get through an engineering program and just always caring about my family. And that's who we are. So anyway, take care of yourself, and I love you guys. Bye.